she'll know that that means they have no updates for her. But despite that, Mom never stops believing that her son is still alive, and she never gives up hope. Ever. So then I guess you have to ask, what happened to Luis? Well, obviously he was kidnapped, and we don't know a ton of the details of this part. Like, we know he was taken from the park, we know he and the woman got on a plane, and that they flew from California to somewhere on the East Coast, and we don't exactly know where. And we know that then, somehow, Luis ends up getting adopted by a couple, and that couple raises him as their own. And Luis knows he was adopted, but he doesn't know he was originally stolen. But anyway, from there, he lives a fairly normal life. Like, he grows up, he later joins the Marines, he goes and fights in the Vietnam War, he comes back, and then he goes and fights in the Vietnam War a second time, and then eventually he comes back for good, and he becomes a firefighter, he gets married, he has kids of his own. Meanwhile, Mom, on the opposite side of the country, she still hasn't given up hope. Like, she still goes to the police station about once a year to see if there are any updates, and there aren't. Even so, she continues to keep baby Luis's photo in the house, and she keeps a newspaper clipping about his abduction in her wallet at all times. And so decades pass, 54 years after Luis first went missing, and it's 2005. And at this point, Mom is 92 years old, and sadly, she passes away, never having found her son. So any hope of Luis ever being located or reunited with his original family are just gone. Until more time passes, and it's now 2020, and that is when we meet this woman. Her name's Alita. Alita's 63. And one day, just for fun, she decides to take one of those Ancestry DNA tests through the mail. So she takes it and she gets the results back, and whoa, that's weird. She's a match with some man she doesn't recognize. Not only that, the results say that she shares 22% DNA with this guy. And so she's thinking, oh, this must be like a cousin or an uncle or something. And so she sends this mystery guy a little message, because you can like message each other through the site. And then she waits, and she waits. And she waits. And the mystery guy never replies. And so she's like, all right, whatever. And she moves on. And 4 years go by. And one night she's watching some documentary on TV. And this reminds her somehow of that random unknown man that she shares DNA with. And so she decides to give it another shot and dig a little deeper and figure out just who this guy is. And so she starts looking up his name online, and she comes across some pictures of him, and the guy is, of course, Luis. Now, Alita had heard all her life about an uncle she has who went missing when he was 6 years old. I mean,